Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. Good evening, BSL. And good evening to everyone else within the sound of my voice. North, south, east, west, and all points in between. You've tuned in to the February 27th, 2024 edition of SBC Tuesday and Talk. And I am your host and teacher and van driver and head chef, Mr. Mike Walker. Glad to have each and every one of y'all here with us this evening. Glad you can join us. Glad you decided to spend at least an hour with us this evening. Glad to have each and every one of y'all here with us. And we hope and pray that you had a great day today, good day, passable day. And if not, well, we pray that tomorrow will be a better day, okay? You made it. Nonetheless, you made it. You are here, and we're here together. So thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so kindly. We got I hate to say it like this, we got an action-packed show this night. It's a good one. And I'm looking forward to it, this one. Just kind of see what y'all got to say. Okay, here we go, y'all. We got to do our whatchamacallums. Our salutations, though. I love this part, right? I love speaking to my family. So here we go. Hey, Cassandra Cunningham. Good to have you here. I've been speaking to you all this time. Where are you watching us from? She's faithful, y'all. Where are you watching us from? Let us know. Lynn Brown from Guyana. Good to have you here. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're resting up. I hope you're not being hard-headed. And if not, I'm going to have to take a flight down to Guyana and straighten some things out, though. Okay, Darlene Duffy Collins. Good evening to you, young lady. Great to have you here. Rochelle Jones. Good evening to you, pretty lady. Glad to have you here. Stephanie Walker. No relation. Good to have you here, young lady. Glad to have you. Where are you from? Okay, Charlotte Williams from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Good to have you here, ma'am. Great. A.B. Von Williams Terry from Canada. Great to have you here. Good evening. The Gospel Source from Long Island, New York. Good to have you here, my sister. Great to have you here. D. Giles from Georgia. Good to have you here. Good evening to you, pretty lady. Good evening. Deborah Dawson. Good evening to you as well. Glad to see you again. Patricia Crockett. Hello, 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 hello. And where are you from? Let us know. Carrie Washington. Good evening to you, young lady. Where are you from? Y'all let us know. Patricia Crockett. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay, you from Milwaukee. Good to have you here. And of course, now, those of you I know where you're from, you won't have to do it though. But unless you want to make new friends in here. So my cousin from Birmingham Metropolitan, my cousin, Sonya Williams. Great to have you here, folks. Fellas, she's single. So y'all need to step up though. Okay, that's all I got to say. Oh, you from Memphis. Good to have you here. Oh, from Shelby County. Great to have you here. Okay. Tan Wiley from Mobile. Okay. Good. Another fellow Alabamian. Lynn. Let me see. I am watching from home tonight. Okay. Let's rest up. Make sure you feel better now. Don't be too fast now. I mean what I say. Angel Kelly from Huntsville, Alabama. Good evening to you, pretty lady. Great to have you here. You're from Junction City, Fort Riley, but are you in Alabama? Because Junction City sound like Alabama. Let me know. You're a fellow Alabamian all this time, and I didn't know it. Ain't that nothing? Yeah, Memphis. Okay. You're from the Magnolia State. Okay. Good. L. Winning from the Windy City. Great to have you here. Keena Lynn from the Magnolia State. Good to have you here. Kansas. Okay. You saying Roll Tide? Goodness. We're gonna have to do an intervention for you. Okay. But nonetheless, glad to have you here. Renee Davenport from Georgia. Good to have you here, young lady. Great to have you here. And I think that is about it, at least for now anyway. Glad everybody's here. I'm not going to use up much of your time. We're just going to get started. We're going to do our little appetizer. And it's this little, Bro Franklin, good to have you here again from Steel City. And Cuz from Florida, good to have you here. And we're going to get started with this meme or whatever I saw online, though. And, before anybody says this real or this fake, we know how it is on the internet, though. But I'm going to put it up and give me, and y'all, we'll share each other's thoughts. Just a little appetizer, y'all. Okay. Here we go. Y'all read with me, of course. Who's at fault? A woman puts her fiance on blast on Facebook because her ring is too small. Fiance sees the post and calls off the wedding. Now, family, what say you? And let's just assume we know you can't believe everything you see online, but let's just go along and say this is real, though. Was he wrong for calling off the wedding? Was he wrong for calling off the wedding? Because this could be a very private affair, something that could have been took care of in private. If she had concerns, should she have went on, well, this kind of a rhetorical question. Should she went online and put him on blast? Should she just simply kept it to herself? Should they just been talking to each other? Was he wrong? Was his actions, while understandably, and I agree with him being angry though, but should he have called the whole thing off? What say y'all? What say y'all? Let me see. We got Charlotta says, don't blast him online. And I think sometimes we take too much stuff online, air our grievances. And, it's good to have that extra listening ear, but sometimes that could be a little too easy, though. You don't want to put just everything online. I think that could have easily been worked out. But that's just my 2 pennies right there. D. Giles says, nope. She should have talked to him one-on-one. That's how it should have been. That's how it should have been. Okay. Bro Franklin says that's a personal conversation. Yeah. They should have sat down and just discussed it. But also discussed it. Not discussed it. But also, here's the bigger question or the bigger concern. If she felt the ring was too small, that might be a bigger issue right there than just her telling it. There's something about her expectations, though. That'll make me look twice at her. She feels that the ring, if that ring is too small, though. So something to kind of put there, though. Sis Renee, good to have you here. She should have had a discussion privately. He is not wrong for calling off the wedding. What is more important, the ring or your marriage? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't think the ring too bad. I mean, like I said, providing it's all real, though, but it's not too bad. At least that's just me. What do I know? They both needed to talk about it. Monique, good to have you here. She should have handled it privately. Okay. Kina, rejection is protection. You see that she isn't genuine about the ring. Siobhan Hughes, good to have you. He should call it off. She's too materialistic. And let me stop right there. I agree with you, because something right there, if she's so, normally if you love that person and that person proposed marriage to you, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. You're just glad to have that person. He decided to propose to you, because nowadays a lot of women been in a relationship 5+ years, 3+ years, and he hasn't even proposed to him. So I'm thinking like, well, maybe she should be happy, not saying settle for anything, but he proposed. And like I think they said, someone said, which is more important, the ring or the marriage? So, Tan, such a bad way to begin a future. I agree. She should have taken it to him. I don't even think she should have said anything, personally. But I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, it seems like she's materialistic. He may never satisfy her. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Sis Crockett, she should have talked to him. Charlotte Williams, she's in it for the wrong reasons then. Okay. Uh no, he wasn't wrong. If she will post that, what she will post about him and them or their marriage in the future. Absolutely. You win a prize. Sis Donna, good to have you. No, they should be able to communicate with each other. Okay. Uh it's an issue that they were supposedly moving toward marriage, but couldn't have this conversation with her future husband. Okay. Darlene Duffy Collins, she was wrong about putting it on Facebook. Communicate with him instead of public. Cause she sounds immature and materialistic. Cassandra says now he should ask for his ring back. That's fair. If she don't like it, then she ought to give it back. That's just me right there. What do I know? Okay. Keena says if that's what he can afford, then what's wrong with it? Absolutely. Absolutely. AB says they should have shopped for the ring together. He should have asked one of her close family members about the ring that she desired. He could have bought a bigger precious stone like a pearl with some small diamonds or precious stone. He could have bought a fake larger stone, then replaced the stone with a reasonable sized diamond when they saved more money. Well, maybe. It just depends on how they feel, but I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying though, but I just feel that I don't know. I just think I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest. I think she should be happy that he even proposed, especially nowadays. Because a lot of folks aren't, a lot of men aren't, I hate to do this. A lot of men in our community, you know what I'm talking about, aren't proposing. So take that and do what you want to with that right there. Angel says she initially accepted the ring. So I'm thinking it's a peer pressure. Friends, family talking about it. And that's true too. People can get in your ear. People can get into your ear and say, he could have gave you a better ring than that. He a cheapskate. What kind of money he make? Yeah. Sometimes you have to have your own mind and your own independent thought and volition. If you like it, then that should be the end of it though. Don't go on what other people say. It's what you like. It's what's in your heart. If it's good enough for you, then bump what everybody else say. Okay. Unless they complimenting you on it. But if they criticizing, hey, tell them to go kick rocks with open-toed sandals. That's all I got to say. And they got the case of the gout. So that's bad business right there. So that's pretty good right there, y'all. That is pretty good. That's a good appetizer right there. We got so much in this main course, though. It's just a case of which one do I want to talk about first. Let me just do this, okay? Our next topic, y'all. Our next topic is push and pull. Our next topic is push and pull. Now, I know what y'all saying. What in the world Mike talking about this week? I'm glad you asked. You asked good questions. You asked good questions. I hope y'all can hear me good. Okay. Y'all asked good questions though. So You know what? Let's start. We're going to talk about push and pull relationships. Okay. And y'all may know it as something else, as some other name. We know, like last week, we talked about love addiction. And we went in the deep dove into that situation. And this could be something we already know. So let's kind of get with this definition, shall we? Oops. Okay, let's get with this one, shall we? Let's read along together. Let me get rid of that crawler down now. Push-pull. In a push-pull relationship dynamic, individuals alternate between pushing their partner away and pulling them closer. This oscillation can create a cycle of attraction and repulsion, leading to emotional turbulence and uncertainty within the relationship. Okay, let's put a pin right there. How many of y'all has ever been in a relationship or trying to, like we say down south, talk to somebody? One minute they're like, yes, I can't wait to go out on a date with you. Then the next, you know what, I'm not good enough for it. Well, yeah, I'm not good enough for you. I don't deserve you. And then the next day, hey, where we going out to lunch? Where we going out to dinner? You get what I'm saying? The back and forth. How many of y'all ever dealt with that type of confusing behavior? Y'all let us know in the comment section, and we got a little more to go with that. Let me put, is it a toxic relationship? That's questionable. It can be considered part of a toxic relationship. Some people may do this intentionally. Some people may not know if they doing it, for that matter. And that's a good question right there, Renee. Me, okay. Renee Gibson, good to have you. Sounds like those dark seduction strategy. And you know what? That's a real good point right there. That's a real good point. Darlene says she's been there. Okay. Now let's go to the second one right here. During the push phase, one or both partners may exhibit behaviors such as distancing themselves emotionally, criticizing or rejecting their partner, or creating conflict. This pushing behavior often stems from feelings of fear, insecurity, or a desire for independence. Okay. Now, it's bad enough if one person do that. Listen to me good. It's bad enough if one person do that. Oh, like we like to say, play those type of games. Okay. But when both people doing it, then that's a monumental waste of time, y'all. And that's sad. That's a super duper deluxe monumental waste of time right there. Let me read some of these comments. And y'all got some good comments here. Valerie Robinson, good to have you here, my sister. Is it like gaslighting? Oh, I can say in some cases, like results may vary. In some cases, some people may use gaslighting as a tool in push-pull relationships, in push-pulling. So that's a good question right there, and a good point. Cassandra, I dealt with that 2 weeks ago. I told him he is not ready for me. Absolutely. Keena says, it feels like life. No one is stagnant unless they are dead. I think what is mentioned is extreme, but sometimes you are hot and sometimes you are cold and sometimes you are perimenopausal and hormonal. Okay. That's an interesting take with that. Okay. Like I said, I may not be right, but hey, thank you though. Okay, you're quite welcome. Thank you for your input. It sounds like some confusion with other parties involved. This is not an exclusive relationship, or this is not. I believe, now this is just from my point of view. I believe it's not necessarily full-blown exclusive. I think it's in the early stages. This is just my speculation right here. Like you said, in the just talking phase, like we used to say. Y'all just talking, y'all getting to know each other. That's where I believe that's the point where you at right now. That's what I believe, though, and that's a good one. Bro Franklin, I see it as an unbalanced emotional intelligence relationship. And I don't have the time for it because I'm only on this earth for a while. Absolutely, my brother. You said a mouthful right there. Our time is limited. We don't know how much time we have here on this side of heaven, though. So we don't have time to waste on games like that. If you're with me, you're with me. If you want to be with me, then let me know. I'm not a mind reader. If you want to be with me, then let's go. Let's move forward. Let's work on this. If not, fare thee well to you. So I like that right there. The Bricker, Pete, good to have you here. Or they just engaging with you out of convenience? Honestly, they are just not into you like that. And that's a good one right there. That's a good observation right there. That sounds like a bit of breadcrumbing right there. That sounds like some breadcrumbing right there. And it could be used. And in case y'all don't know what breadcrumbing is, that means in a relationship or you're trying to get to know someone, you just give them enough crumbs of attention to make sure they don't go anywhere else. And you're not serious about them. You kind of got them as a reserve in case nothing else works out with anyone else down the line. So that's some breadcrumbing right there. That's a good point right there. Yeah, that's right. We don't know how long we here. Carrie, it was done to me on purpose because he accidentally told me that attention from me would draw other women. You know what? I believe that. I'll read it again. It was done to me on purpose because he accidentally told me that attention from me would draw other women. And I'm chuckling at the part that he accidentally he told on himself. So I like, oh boy. Deborah, one or both of them narcissistic, okay? And that kind of, and you know what, that kind of goes to you know what, and it kind of goes to the next part right here. I'm glad you said that right there. That's kind of a good segue. Conversely, during the pull phase, individuals may seek closeness, validation, or reassurance from their partner. They may express affection, seek intimacy, or make efforts to resolve conflicts and reconnect emotionally. This pulling behavior typically arises from a need for connection, support, or validation. That's something right there. In other words, they'll come back to you for convenience, but it's that push-pull phase. I never heard of this topic until I think it was either early this week or late last week. You learn something new every day. Let me see. Right here. We got some more topics here. Wait a minute. Y'all came in so fast. Okay, yeah. Renee. For the push side of things, if one is doing it for the things mentioned, I can see, unfortunately, if both are doing it, then why bother being in the relationship? If you're both pushing, are they just staying in a relationship just to say they have someone? Could be. Like I said, results may vary. Some people may do it. They don't get their own ulterior motives as to why they're in a relationship. So, okay, I agree. Donna says, sounds like somebody is dealing with some past trauma. They need to work on themselves first before entering into a relationship. I think that's the case most of the time. That's just my humble opinion. I believe that's the case most of the time. Don't quote me on that. Well, you can, but I believe that is the case most of the time. They still have esteem issues. They still have trauma. Uh, Still have some triggers here and there. I believe that's the case right there. That's what I believe right there. Okay. What say y'all? Mm, what say y'all? Well, if they just talking, a ring should. Okay. Okay. I could see breadcrumbing. Yep. Mm-hmm. You can add to it. I won't say it's so they are basically breadcrumbing. Okay. Stacy, good to have you here this evening. Are they not ready for a serious relationship, or is it just a bad way or protecting the heart from getting hurt again / rejection? Either way, it's not right, but it seems to happen more often than not. Absolutely, I agree. I think it's the case of someone. Know what, I say it just like this: it's a person who wants a relationship, who desires a relationship. Want that closeness, just that companionship. But deep down, they know they're not ready. But for whatever reason, they try to, you know, go on with it anyway. It's the nerves, it's what have you, though. So yeah, that's just like Barry said, that's a good point right there. Okay. Okay, here we go. Trust issues. That could be the case right there too. Well, I think that's the biggest part of it is, like I just said, trust issues, trauma, past hurts, things growing up. It could be a whole bunch of, it could be a plethora of things right there. So of feelings and items. Let me get to the last one of this one. The push-pull dynamic can be both captivating and challenging, as it can create a sense of excitement and intensity. Wow. While also fostering feelings of confusion, insecurity, and instability. Over time, this pattern may lead to cycles of conflict, followed by reconciliation. Let me read this part again. Over time, this pattern may lead to cycles of conflict, followed by reconciliation, as both partners navigate their respective needs for autonomy and intimacy within the relationship. How about that, people? How about that? You know, some people get a thrill out of that, out of a push pull dynamic. In other words, playing with the other person's feelings and emotions. Maybe they just think it's a thrilling moment. I tell her I don't think she's right for me. And then next week, I go full force bringing her flowers and candy and stuff. L says, I said this is some confusion. It is very confusing. Ain't nobody got time for that. Exactly. It's bad enough one person is doing it. You hear me, L? It's bad enough one person doing it. But when you got both of them doing it, then no, they just need to go somewhere else. Hey, Frenchette, good to have you here. When you are not on the road to emotional health and unaware, can create wounds. Yep, I agree with you on that. I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Renee says, to me, it reminds me of toxic behavior. Nothing about that says balance, healthy communication with a stable relationship. Mm-hmm. Think Tan said, wouldn't work with me. I don't have time for negativity. L says, I hear you. So I hope y'all learned something. We all learned something today, at least from push-pull relationships. Like I said, first time hearing about this term. I think they got a term for everything that we already experienced or dealt with for most of our lives. They just not putting a name to it, I suppose, Like last week, love addiction, limerence. Yeah. Let me read what Valerie has to say. A lot of time folks don't love themselves because they haven't been taught how to love, followed by depression and a lot of mental issues that are unhealthy. Yep, that's it right there. Right there, right there. Oh, well. Yeah, you know what? It's time for our next one. Let's go to our next topic. This one was pretty interesting right here. Where is Wendy? Where is Wendy? For the past week and definitely this weekend, Lifetime aired a 2-night, I guess, reality documentary season, a series movies on talk show host Wendy Williams. And as you know, she has dealt with some serious health and emotional and mental issues, though. And this, it, I watched it. I watched the whole thing, and it's been something. And just here's some little clips from it. And if you could just look at it, look at how her health has taken a turn for the worse. She looks, especially right here, this is a bit heartbreaking. Regardless of how you may feel for her, she looks wow. And she's just maybe about 6 years older than me or something like that. We're in the same group, but she really seems invalid. Look, she's in the chair. Look, and that's her sister right there. That's her sister. And just look, that's her niece right there. She is very invalid. She just doesn't, and there's people, I won't say surrounded by yes people, but there are people taking advantage of her. And you can look, she's in a very bad emotional state. Wait a minute. Let me see. And I know y'all got some comments, though. Let me put those comments right there. She may not have been taking medication to improve her thyroid. And she probably isn't. Yes, it was very difficult to watch, though, in some cases right there. And yeah, she is definitely not doing, she's not doing too well. And as of this live stream, her family has not heard from her. Her family has not heard from her. So, those of you who have watched it, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this? Valerie says, now this is what the family says, and I should have wrote this down too. And I can't pronounce it off the top of my head though. So some of y'all geniuses in the audience, and I know we got some smart people. They say that she's dealing with the same mental neurological condition as Bruce Willis is dealing with. It's some form of dementia. And any of y'all could look that up for me and put it in the comment section. That's one thing she's dealing with. Her body is not doing too good. You saw with the bulging eyes, she's dealing with that right there, with the thyroid situation. Her mind is not doing too well. People are taking advantage. Let me see. Told most of us was concerned content much. We don't know the family. The family is a conflict with the family. She has a caregiver, a court-appointed caregiver, and is a lawyer, a non-family member. Oh, let me get this right here. So we don't know what's, and it's bad. Like I said, her family hasn't heard from her. Graves' disease. Okay. Renee says, man, this broke my heart. I grew up listening to her for years and watching TV. She has vultures around her from the bank, Wells Fargo, that shady management, and unfortunately, some of her family members. She needs someone who truly cares for her in her corner. Now, let's put a pin. Oh, goodness, in the internet acting up. Let's put a pin right there. Wells Fargo is her bank. And if you looked at the full docu-series, it was said that there were a lot of withdrawals or spending, over 100K. And I was going to say a DoorDash delivers in 1 year. $250,000, or I think it's either $150,000 or $250,000 for her son's birthday party. $100,000 for his rent in college, and that may have been a red flag to the bank. Now, I'm not saying yay or nay or whatever, but that's a red flag to the bank. So they probably was looking out for her best interest. Sonia, great to have you here. I think a lot of this comes from her mental breakdown. That'll do it, definitely. That's a part of it right there. Even though she probably had those things festering up on the inside, but I think that really made matters worse right there. That definitely made matters worse. Good Marcus, great to have you here, sir. Dementia is not a specific disease, but rather a general term for the impaired ability to remember, think, or make decisions that interferes with doing everyday activities. Okay, thank you, sir. One should avoid taking medicine while swallowing an overabundance of alcohol. Wow. 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 Let's see. Renee, good to have you here. Didn't she put someone's business out? Then she got sick. Oh, I'm glad you said that, but let's be careful about that. I'm just gonna say this right now. And I'm not a big fan. Okay. I'm just gonna say this right now. And there have I've heard interviews, she had a slick mouth or what have you, but that's that's not how that's not how I believe the Lord worked. Because if that's the case, well, guess what? All of us would be sick or dead or be in a situation like she is or worse. So I don't believe that. I do not believe that. Any of us could be sick. You know, I don't go on this live stream every day and put down people and gossip about people like she do. I don't do it, but guess what? I almost died from a massive pulmonary embolism. Things happen. Things happen. So no, I won't say I can't. No, I won't go along with that though. No matter how you feel about her, and it's the easiest thing to say that, yeah, she's getting her justice back or what have you though. But you know, but you know, you got to be careful with that because you don't know, because the Lord deals with all of us. If he did that to her, then he'll do it to us. That's just my personal belief right there. So that's my opinion. What is yours? Is she under a guardianship? Yes, she is. She is under a guardianship with a lawyer who was not featured on the docu-series, and her name was redacted, you know, and she filed a lawsuit prior to the airing of the show to keep the show from being aired. So you can look her up in the she's all over the internet. I mean, That's what Wendy does. Report news where someone could have done something to her. Maybe, maybe, maybe. That's all I could just say is maybe. I feel sorry for her, but I will keep her. Yeah, but I will keep better up in. Let me explain this to you right here, because you're watching us from YouTube. Okay, so far you're probably the only somebody where that's commentating that's watching it from YouTube. The rest of these people are commenting from Facebook. You see the YouTube, right here, and then you look at Patricia. You see the Facebook. She's commenting from Facebook, and you're commenting from YouTube. So that's why you don't, unless someone else comes and looks at it at the YouTube feed, hey, you're the only one that's commenting from there. So I hope that helps right there. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rochelle. The diagnosis is called aphasia. I just forgot what it was called. Same as Bruce Willis. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay. Yeah, I get what you said. I understand. Hey, in the entertainment industry, anything can happen. I think I'm not even gonna bring that up, but somebody had a massive lawsuit filed against them. Woo! We'll talk about that in the after party though. So yeah. Blondie, good to have you here. It's an eye opener. The docu is an eye opener. It gives an insight on what she has been going through and the people around her. I wonder if the Adult Protection Service is going to investigate. I believe some type of investigation is going to take place right now. We believe so. And like I said a few minutes ago, the family hasn't heard from her in 3 days, though. So that's a tough one right there. That's a tough one. Understood. 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 Oh, so they are and now that's another thing right there. People felt that Lifetime and the families and the producers were exploiting Ms. Williams. And then what say y'all? It was bad. That's the only thing I can say is it's something that, wow, it's something. Ooh, my eye itch. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey T, good to have you here. It just broke my heart. She looked so bad. And thank you, Mike, for straightening that out. Yeah, yeah. And Renee wasn't saying that either, though. But I just wanted to clear that up because you still got a lot of folks saying karma, karma, karma. And not chameleon, but karma. Okay. Yeah. Bad joke. Okay. Amen, brother Mike. Yeah, okay. Sonia. Wendy was already suffering with anxiety and thyroid issues. If you notice, after she found out about the ex-husband, she started fainting on TV and hitting the liquor ball harder. Wow. There's then, hey, Terry. Good to have you here. Terry said, Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, Lewy body disease. Perfect. Frontal temporal dementia, alcoholic related dementia, Down syndrome. I think you're born with Down syndrome. Okay, I don't know about the rest of that though. Especially Down syndrome. That's something you're born with, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. All of us have come short. I know I have. That's what it says. Exactly. That is what it said. Excuse me. Exactly, Mike. That is what I said when I read comments of saying karma, etc. on Instagram. We all would be sick of some kind of whatever if it was karma. Yes. Ain't that the truth, Blondie? None of us deserve even to be here, but thank God for grace and mercy. Yes. Yes. Okay. Keena says, the grace we want for ourselves, we should extend to others. We Christians are a peculiar people because we are not to treat people as they have treated people, but treat people with the love of Christ. Okay. Hey, Atrice, how you doing? Good to have you here. Marcus, some documentary producers would not have did the Wendy special if they had known she was battling dementia. Okay, Pastor Balders, good to have you here, sir. We all need to just keep Wendy lifted up in prayer because all by the grace of God, any one of us could be in the same situation. Amen. Health wise, you can be up today and down tonight. We just need to pray. Amen. I'm a living witness to that. I'm a living witness to that, Pastor. Yes, yes, yes. Again, it was a pretty tough one. It was pretty tough though. It was sad. It was heartbreaking. And again, like everybody's saying, that could be us. So we just have to be careful though, you know. So we just have to be careful. Here we go, y'all. Up next, I'm trying to think what we're gonna do next because we gotta do this quickly. Some of this stuff may have to wait till next week, which I believe it will. Let me do this right quick. I feel a bit embarrassed about doing this one right here, but the future of Tuesday Talk and shoot your shot. In the short, trying to think. You know what? I just talk about that in the after party. I just talk about that at the after party. Okay, that is all I just say. I just talk about that in the after party though. Okay. It's something that, well, that's been on my mind though, and you know what, I'll just say it like this. I hate to ask for donations. I do. I really do. But I have to, doing these shows aren't free, and I've done it for about going on 4 years now, but certain things have happened. I'm definitely not in the poorhouse or anything though, but you know, so let's just see, okay? I'll talk about that in the after party though. I don't think I should talk about it here. Okay. Dokes. I think the last one is I think it's time for us to go. And thank you, Bro Franklin. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Let's look at this right here. This is something I meant to do it last week, but I didn't do it. I forgot. But we'll do it this week. Okay? As we read this, the true measure of wealth is not your private equity portfolio. It's this. And I guess he's assuming that if we're able to afford the Rayo's, the eggs, and the pure Irish butter. Now, folks, I've seen the homemade sauce, the marinara sauce. I've seen it online and in the stores. I have seen it. I've heard of it. But those eggs and that butter, I've never heard of those eggs and butter. How many of y'all ever heard of it? Y'all let me know. Or is it just me? I guess they're saying if you heard of these items, if you're able to buy these items, then that means you're rich. At least that's what the meme says. And a lot of folks kind of jumped on it right there. Okay. Reginald says, I have the butter in my local store. Okay. I never heard of it. I might need to look for it though. I've used Kerrygold several times. Okay. How does it taste? How does it compare to other butters though? Okay. Yeah, I never heard of it, or I haven't never paid any attention. Well, Rayos, like I said, I think they're in Publix. Rayos, I definitely heard of this. But the other ones, no, no. Frenchette, okay. You've heard of them. Okay. 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 Keena says Kerrygold butter is my favorite and it's so good. I may have to investigate that, y'all. I may have to investigate that. I use that butter and I have some. Okay. Darlene says, I've heard of the butter ad. See it at the grocery store. Okay. Sonia says, well, I'm poor then. Yes. Being a chef for years. I'm pretty sure you have. I've heard of these things and more. Okay. Okay. Ladies, he's a chef. That's all I'm going to say. L, I bought that butter before and it wasn't good to me. I like Rayo's soup though. I think that's how I saw it, as a soup. I don't know. Nevertheless, I strive to eat organic as much as possible. Donna says she hasn't heard of those things. T says I haven't seen the butter in the store. Okay. Sharnice Chapman, good to have you here. It's life changing. The only butter I buy. You know what, folks? The only butter I buy is Land O'Lakes, and I love it. So, but I didn't know about this right here. So I may have to. You saying it's life changed, or I may have to. Mm, Tillamook Mook is now my new favorite. Rayo's is okay, okay. Now I've had Tillamook's or Tillamook's cheese. I never had their butter. I've had their cheese, and it's pretty good. No. D, I disagree with you. Butter isn't just butter. No, I disagree with you, dog. I respectfully disagree with you. All butters do not taste the same. Trust me. Land O'Lakes is good compared to uh a margarine like Country Crock or something else. No. Land O'Lakes is good, but I need to try that Kerrygold. So no. And Tillamook. So no, butter is not just butter. Yes, the butter. Bernardine Wu, it's good to have you here, man. The butter is expensive. It has a smoother taste, okay? I believe it. Hey, y'all regular shoppers out there, have y'all noticed that the price of eggs have slowly went back up? Used to be a time like they didn't double or something like that. Or maybe it's just me, though. Seems like they didn't went back up, y'all. Okay. Oh, here she go. Put it on a biscuit. I'm gonna ban you. I'm gonna ban you. Michelle Shallowhorn, great to have you here, ma'am. I've heard of those brands, but my taste buds can't justify the cost difference. I can understand, y'all. I could totally understand. Pastor says I started to use it while I was doing keto. It's a butter that folks on keto use a lot. Okay. Let me see. Kevin Gomes, good to have you here. I buy vegan butter. Okay. Rochelle says she never heard of it. Breakstone and Land O'Lakes. Okay. And Bernardines. I don't know about life changing though. Sonia. I like Land O'Lakes and Imperial. I used to try Imperial all the time. I'm gonna do that. Remind me. Once I taste, remind me. Remind me. Hey, Teresa. Good to have you here. I can't believe it's not butter. Okay. Nope. Yeah, butter is not just butter. Kevin, let me see. Hey, Shireen, good to have you here. I'm a vegan, so I use vegan butter. Okay, okay, okay. I'm an assistant chef engineer. You still cook. You still know your way around the kitchen, though. So I still stick by it, ladies. He's a chef. Okay, he knows how to cook, ladies. That's all I'm gonna say. So, okay, no, Eggland have gone back up. Okay, yeah, I noticed that too. Oh, really? So that's how you found out. Well, how did they taste? Okay. Hey, Kirsten, good to have you here. My eggs are always expensive because I only buy Eggland's Best. I don't recall ever buying Eggland. I don't recall. I don't know. I had to look back. I did. Eggs, butter, yeah. Like I said now, like I said, eggs have shot up. I noticed that. Maybe those chickens going on strike or something. Yeah. I like Irish butter. I never had. I might, like I said, I may have to try it though. Ha ha ha. Folks, that is it. Guess what? We out of time. We so out of time. Boy, that time went by fast. I hope y'all enjoyed it though. Time for the announcements. They're gonna do these announcements right quick. Because guess what? Uncle Mike is hungry. So I gotta do this right quick. Coming up next is half past the hour. We're gonna have our after party. Make sure you tune in and join us. And we're gonna talk about things. The documentary, the things about the live streams and everything else though. So make sure you tune in, okay? And if it's the Lord's will, make sure you tune in at the same time, same channel, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of SBC Tuesday and Talk. Well, that's it. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all for your presence. Thank y'all for your support. I don't take it lightly. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. And y'all be careful out there. So until next time, y'all take care. So long, everybody.